Welcome to the interview. I'm Dan Hollander, and today we're talking with Lawrenceburg Airport Manager Doug Smith. Doug, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's talk about the new year and what's new, some of the things.
Since the last time we met, the hangar project has been completed, and we've got 7 additional units. Those were designed a little differently. They're box hangars as opposed to a smaller T-hangar, what we call a T-hangar unit, and they can fit multiple small airplanes or a larger mid-sized corporate airplane in them. So it gives us a little more flexibility on what we put in them.
Anything else new that should drop in at this point?
We've got a display aircraft out here that a local retired military / airline pilot worked with him in getting that donated for youth aviation education. So we put that in. Jay Fleeman and I worked and mounted it and whatnot. But that's a nice thing for kids to come out and take a look at. A lot of times we'd have people that want to come out, see airplanes and things, and we would have to do the look but don't touch, and kind of escort them around to look at things. Now they've got one that they can actually look, see, touch, do whatever.
So that's better for the visitors and better for you too.
Absolutely. We still don't mind doing a tour or a field trip type situation too. But a lot of parents just want to bring the kid out to the parking lot here and look at the airplane. So that's neat.
Tell us about a fly-in. Anything recently on that? Or?
Well, we had in September, had a real nice event. It was called Aviation Heritage Day, and it was a fly-in, cruise-in style event. The good folks with the Lawrence County Classic Car Club came out and brought a lot of nice old cars and stuff, and that was really neat. And then we had people that flew in from around the region. Had a good mix of antique and old military vintage aircraft, then more we call them classic airplanes because in airplane world actually something that's built in the 70s and 80s in a single engine world is actually a fairly modern airplane, but anyway, we had a good mix. We also had the military helicopters here giving rides, and then the flight school that operates here was giving some rides. So everybody had a real good time. We had music, food. I don't know what the count was, but several hundred people came out, and the weather wasn't perfect that day. We had a good dry spell before and after that particular day. We had just a little bit of a shower, but it wasn't a deal breaker, and still a lot of people came.
I know you've been interested and involved in this hangar renovation project. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, on the hangar renovation, we got I guess it's 50 plus year old original hangar. It was built, I think, 62. So it's dated, and it's a good old hangar, but it's really showing its age. So we're refurbishing that hangar. We're going to reuse a slab. Basically the bones we're going to reuse, but it'll have new metal, new windows, doors. The office area will be updated. The flight school that operates here will have a new office. We'll have a community room, which will be good for small events. A lot of times we'll have people that come in and want to have a business meeting, and for instance this conference room we're here in, you get more than 10 or 12 people in here, and it's getting pretty crowded. So
pretty tight.
When they have larger groups that come, for instance, we had the state of Tennessee, their King Air turbine airplane was in yesterday, fairly large group, and had they had a place to meet, they might have wanted to use that, or other people that come in might want to use that. So that'll be nice. The other thing we'll have down there is 24-hour accessible restrooms, and a small lobby. So that will go hand in hand. We added 24-hour fueling, pay at the pump. We added that not too long ago. And of course, when people are traveling, they come in, they want to get some fuel and stuff, same as when you and I hit the interstate.
Right.
You know, what's the first thing you do when you make a stop? You know, you need a restroom. So that'll be nice. We'll have a little lobby area where they can take their iPad, check their weather, their next leg of travel, hit the restroom and everything, and get their fuel and be on their way.
Yeah. How about funding? Where does money come from to finance the airport?
You know, that surprises a lot of people. A lot of time people get the impression that all that money is being taken out of the county budget or something like that, and they see big projects at the airport, and you know, they're thinking, well, what's the benefit for me? Well, what a lot of them don't understand is, although there's a small matching percentage that comes from your county or city or local governments, most of that funding comes out of aviation fuel taxes. So it comes through the form of federal and state grants and things like that, and we do match a small percentage of it, but most of the funding is paid for by the aviation system.
Yeah. Most people know, I would imagine, but some may not know how important this airport is to Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like I just mentioned, we had state folks in here yesterday that were down. Don't know how much I should say about what they're doing,
Yeah.
but and that's typical of a lot of business travel that we have coming in and out. They may or may not want it publicly known as they're working on their business plan or whatever their plans are.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of people in here, and it surprises a lot of people, you know, to find out that there's that much that comes through.
Yeah. An airport like this is very important to business recruitment, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's one of the, especially your bigger corporations or your bigger businesses. That's one of the things that they look at when they come to a town is not only roads and things that connect you to the outside world, but you know, a lot of times the business people need to get in and out quick, and air travel is the way they do it.
Yeah. Still offer flying lessons?
We do. The airport itself does not do that, but we have a flight school located here, and they operate, you know, all the time. They're pretty good about accommodating other people's schedules.
For those who are interested, I might like to do that. Is that really expensive? Depending on the person.
Yeah, define expensive.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that's into hunting and likes to make a trip to Colorado or wherever, and you know, go on a hunting excursion to Alaska or whatever. Golf, you know, that's not cheap if you like to go around. Even a bass boat these days, you know, you can tie up $30,000-$40,000, and you know, so flying is not cheap, but it is obtainable. You know, if the average guy decides that that's the hobby he wants to pursue, it's not that bad.
Yeah. What do you see for the future for this airport? And I guess it would kind of go hand in hand with other airports this size.
Yeah, yeah. We're fortunate in Tennessee that the Aeronautics Committee and our local airport board and stuff have done a lot of planning, a lot of forward looking. So we're set as far as at least, you know, your plans can change and you can adjust, but we've got long range plans and all that stuff in place. Some real good people working on that, and I think in comparison to a lot of other small towns, and I'm not saying they're not doing well, but this airport has really got their game on. It's just, we're good to go.
That's great. And you encourage tours, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, we get, it's surprising that you get a lot of people in that Of course, you get a lot that you don't want to pry or ask what they're doing, but a lot will volunteer. And a lot of times they'll tell us that we're going up here to see Amish country, or we're going to a motorcycle event down here at West Point, or a variety of things, that you might not have really thought about, but they tell you what they're up to, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Any special events coming up that should make folks aware of?
We haven't made any official dates yet, but the fly-in last year was real successful. We're real pleased with that, and we're looking into maybe doing something similar
Good.
again. Yeah.
Sounds good. Appreciate all the info, and if people want more information, I'm sure you welcome their call.
We do.
Good.
Absolutely.
Lawrenceburg Airport Manager Doug Smith, and that's the interview for today. We thank you for watching. Join us next time.